Hi, my name is John. Today is January 14th, 2019, and I'm here filming from my home office in New Jersey, and I'm really excited about my first video. This is, maybe a little bit nervous, but mostly excited. This isn't something I normally do, and as well, I'm really excited about a new YouTube channel that I've created, which ultimately is going to be used to chronicle what I see for myself as a journey I want to go on over the next 24 months. A little bit of background about that. Last July, I turned 40 years old, and I think like anyone who goes through a major milestone birthday, it's natural to reflect personally, to do a little bit of soul searching. And for me, I did just that, and I really spent a lot of time looking what I see myself doing for the last half of my life. What kind of life do I see myself living, and really what do I want, and having a clear vision of that. And I've come to the realization that although I've been really blessed up until this point in my life, there is a huge gap in terms of where I am and what I see my potential being. My potential being across all levels of my life, whether that's relationships, finances, business, public service, my health and physical fitness, etc., personal development, etc. So these are things that I see that I really want to tackle, and not only tackle, but I want to master. And to master something means you have to immerse yourself fully and really come up with a detailed plan to have daily habits and to really hold yourself accountable. And normally it's wise to find someone to hold you accountable to do something, but I said, heck, let's use video, let's publish content on a regular basis online, and what better way to hold yourself accountable than by doing that. And at the end of the journey, and after the end of the 24 months, my plan is to have a final video that expresses in clear and demonstrable terms how much I've progressed, how much money I've accumulated, how well I've mastered all areas of my life, and I would hope to have a chance to help others do the same. In my life, I found myself to be the most happiest when I give without people asking, when I help without people asking. I don't think any of us, including myself, do that enough. And this is all combined, really what I think is the end state, is being in a position to help others be happy and get to a place in their life they didn't think was possible. But you need credibility to do that. And honestly spoken, it's easy to see on YouTube or the internet or on TV, just see people talking about things and being rich or being wealthy, and they're already there. They're already drinking the Kool-Aid. But it's really important to understand the process behind it. What sweat equity did they put into that? How hard did they work? What sacrifice did they make? These are all the things I plan to document and show what the systematic process is for me. I'm not saying this is the way everyone should be, but I think it's important to show what works, what doesn't, what lessons you have, what failures you can learn from, and that's all in a nutshell what I'm really trying to do here. So let me be clear as well. As I said several times, I feel very blessed to where I am at this point in my life. And I'm honestly not coming to you with a history of a sob story or suffering from addiction or a lot of hardships in my life. It's actually quite the opposite. And even with this said, I still see myself with a burning desire to increase my potential and really strive to increase where I am and where I'm going in my life. And that's what I think is a really interesting message. You always hear money can't buy you happiness. Yeah, I make quite a bit of money in my career and every year. And yet you realize that unless you really fulfill most of the other areas of your life, buying things you like is only going to get you so far. And it sounds like a cliche we hear too often these days, but it's really true. So again, a little bit about me. I grew up with a great family. I had loving parents who, after 45 years, are still married. I have an older sister and a younger brother who I'm really close with. Personally, I'm married 6 years to a wonderful woman. I have a 6-year-old beautiful daughter. From an educational perspective, I went to college and got a computer science degree. I got my MBA from Rutgers Graduate School of Business in New Jersey. From a business perspective, over the last 18 and a half years, I've worked at 5 companies spanning financial services, the music industry, life sciences, technology, etc. And In those companies, I do work to improve a company's operations, to operate efficiently. I manage projects that install new software to help automate processes that just cost too much money. It's been a really cool ride. I've traveled to over 30-something countries, mostly first class, thanks to business travel and business travel with large companies. Stayed at first class hotels, and again, it's been really cool, and it's been a great learning experience. But yet, after all of that, how do I see myself spending the next 30 to 40 years? Yeah, it's an eye-opening question, and for me it was an eye-opening experience to really answer that. So this is a summary of why I'm doing this video and what I plan to do. To start off, I want to show you what my goal setting is for the year, because I think this is extremely important to have clear and concise goals that help you get to a vision, that helps you build to a greater purpose. You know, for those of you who work in corporate America and work as employees for companies like I do, it's so common to set goals for the beginning of every year. And you're measured on your compensation to a degree based on how well you achieve those goals. Well, how many of us do that in our own personal life? How many of us actually sit down and write down goals, measure how they're doing on a monthly basis, and really shape the year based on the goals they had in the beginning of the year, or make tweaks to them? I don't think there's many of us. Or if you do, then like me, you'd started doing that, and then a month or two later you're done. Or like New Year's resolutions, you're going to go on a diet, or you're going to go to the gym, and then a month or two later that seems to fizzle because other priorities seem to be taking over. So what I want to do is show you how I'm going to plan a goal set. I plan to look in at a status check every month on how I'm achieving those goals. Between each monthly update, I want to publish a number of videos or content of lessons learned, share insights that I've gained through my life according to my experiences, and make sure that I stay on track. And throughout this journey, I really hope it's a fun experience and I improve myself on a number of different levels, and I'm just really excited about this journey. So let's now take a look next at the goals, and we'll go from there. Okay, so regarding my goal setting, I think this is a really important part of my journey, which I really want to try to do consistently. And what I've done here is I've categorized the 7 topics, the 7 areas or pillars in my life, which I deem really important, and those that I want to master, as I said earlier. So in short, the 7 pillars are business, health and fitness, personal development and spirituality, relationships, travel and lifestyle, finance, and public service. What I now will do is walk you through what my objectives for each single one of these goals are, so that I can measure my progress in achieving them, and I can share along the way content that explains what my experience is with trying to go through certain topics, trying to achieve certain things. I'm sure I'll fall on my face a few times, like any of us trying to learn and progress in life, but that's part of the exciting part of the journey, in my view. So I apologize with regards to the reading I'm going to be doing. I want to capture everything in detail, so in advance I've written down my objectives, so I'm going to open up my phone where I have these saved and read through those one by one, and I'll give some context along the way. So first, we're going to talk about business. Now, from a business perspective, I'm not a business owner. I work as an employee for a large European company, and I work out of my home and travel around the world when I'm not at home. This is what I've been doing for 18 years. Do I want to do this for the next 30 years? We'll see. I find my life more fulfilling the more I could experience new ventures. I've learned a lot about the importance of investing and what it means to invest, investing your time, investing your money. So over the long term, I can't say for sure what I'm doing, but I can tell you currently I work with a fantastic company with great people. This company does good for the world. They create products that help women get pregnant. They create pigments that you find on car colors and in cosmetic products. Almost every cell phone that you guys have is made with pixels and screen technology that comes from my company. So really proud of the company I work with, love with the people I work, proud of the company and the people I work with. So at the moment, I keep the status quo, and my objective for the business part is I will evaluate the situation at my current job to ensure that I'm performing at an optimal and high level, and this will be indicated by my yearly performance review. However, I will sit down and look at my plan for the next 1 to 2 years to see if the trajectory that I'm on at the company I'm at now, which I've been at for 3 years, is right for my overall career path and my learnings. I'm not saying it's not, but that's something I want to look at really closely. And in April of this year, my plan is to get a above average performance rating for the performance last year, and that helps improve my compensation for the year. In terms of the health and fitness, I have 8 goals here. First, I will eat clean at least 5 days a week to establish optimal health, energy, vitality, and physical fitness. I will exercise and work out at least 1 hour per day in order to establish optimal health, energy, vitality, and physical fitness. I will go through a detox program lasting at least 3 days to support my body in optimal health and vitality. I will do a BMI test, body mass index, which measures your percentage of body fat by the end of 2019 and seek to realize at least 12% body fat, with all of my abdominals showing, which is critical during the summer period. Next is I will get a routine dental exam and cleaning. 6, I will get a routine health and wellness exam. 7, like in 2018 when I did a 10.5-mile Tough Mudder race. That's a physical fitness challenge for those familiar. Spartan, Warrior, they're all different types of challenges of somewhat similar nature. But this year I want to do another one and perform another physical fitness challenge. And last but not least, I will ensure to get a minimum of 5 hours of sleep to ensure optimal energy, health, and vitality. Now look, I know 5 hours may sound low. Optimal is 6 to 8, maybe even more. I don't know what reality is. You look at the bags under my eyes, I don't get that much sleep due to what I work, due to my job schedule and so on. 5 hours feels like enough for me, but maybe in another video I'll dissect the 24 hours and see what's working and what's not working, and we can make adjustments along the way. I know reading out these objectives may seem like a little weird, but as I said, I want to make in clear, concrete terms a declaration of what my objectives are so that in the next months to come I can really measure myself on how I'm doing, and if needed, I can tweak things along the way. Personal development and spirituality. I will read at least 12 books to learn and develop myself in all areas of life. At the moment, I'm actually reading a cool book called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. I'm only about 30%, 40% of the way through the book, but it's actually a really cool book. Tony Robbins talked about this guy, and I love Tony Robbins and everything he has to stand for and what he does. This guy brings some really interesting context to what it means to have a millionaire mind, making sure you're living with gratitude, making sure from the inside you're reconditioning your mind to what you think you deserve. And the example they gave was, look at a fruit tree. All you see on the outside is the fruit and what fruit the tree is bearing, but what you don't see is underground, how hard the roots are working, how hard the roots are striving to create a network and expand and get nutrients and water. The same thing with wealth. Most of the time we see the end result, what people have, but what you don't see is what's happening underneath and how they really got there. That's what this book is about, and I maybe will give in another video a review of how I liked it or not. Next, I will read 12 books this year. Next, I will learn more about Jim Kwik and his training for improving my memory and cognitive functions. Third, I will learn more about Michael Singer and his Untether My Soul program. Fourth, I will learn more about Bio-Cybernaut, which will help optimize my mind and emotions by the end of the year. These 3 guys I've learned about through reading or following people on YouTube. Tony Robbins, I'll give another plug. These are guys who have very interesting programs and seem to be well-renowned in their respective areas of the topics I mentioned. So I'd like to get a little bit more insights of what they are and maybe take advantage of some of those programs and make investments in myself to partake in those learnings if needed. Fifth, I will do my morning ritual at least 6 days a week and as well learn about and look to incorporate into it Tai Chi and meditation. I definitely will do a video about my morning ritual. I feel like over the last months I've developed a really interesting morning ritual that I love. I wake up around 4:30 in the morning, Sounds crazy, I know, but that is a great time of day to keep for yourself, to develop what you want that day, to really set a good tone for the rest of your day. So there's several things I'm trying to refine and really optimize in my morning schedule so that by the time the rest of the country's waking up and we start work, I'm really starting the day on a great note, feeling very positive, and really setting myself up for success. Same goes with the evening. When I wind down, I do an evening ritual, and that helps me rest. It helps me develop what I want to think about that night and really what I want to cultivate in terms of my mind and body. So probably will give you a little bit of context on that in a separate video. 7 and 8 are dealing with religious context. So I will connect with God every day through prayer, gratitude, or conversation. And last but not least, I will attend church with my family in a formal mass at least twice per month. Okay, relationships is next. I will plan a romantic, fun, or adventurous date night with my wife at least twice per month. Seems like a weird thing to say, but honestly spoken, with a really demanding job, with a child, sometimes you lose sight of what's very important in your marriage. Not to say I don't have a great marriage, because I do, but you know, we got to keep things fun, we got to keep things exciting, and I definitely am going to make a clear objective to think about being creative and being spontaneous as much as possible, and that's what I had planned there. As well with my daughter, I want to plan time for just a daddy-daughter day with my daughter at least once per month. And that's something I'll look to chronicle along the way so that I can look back and have fun memories. I will, once a week, socialize, either face-to-face or virtually, with my friends. Third, I will make a point to socialize face-to-face or virtually at least 3 times per week with my family. Same thing goes here. You're so caught up in the day-to-day. I find it challenging sometimes to stay on top and up to date with my friends, and fortunately even sometimes with my siblings or my family. So I'm definitely making it a point every day when I review my goals to give tasks to achieve that day and making sure I'm fulfilling this end of the bargain, because I really want to stay grateful and appreciative of the people in my life that are very supportive and I have known for probably over 25 something years when I talk about my friends, and family obviously my whole life. I will take off from work on the weekends to allow myself to rest, recover, have fun, and create balance in my life. So these are the 5 objectives regarding my relationships. Next, with travel and lifestyle, this is to make sure I keep focus on having fun as well and seeing how I can travel and explore the beautiful places in the world. I will take my family on vacation to Atlantis in Bahamas for at least 5 nights, and hopefully do that in April timeframe. Next, I will evaluate if as well we can also do a summer vacation in Long Beach Island, which is a hotspot, is one of the hotspot travel areas in the summer, where we rent for the last few years a summer home and do that with, in some cases, my siblings, and other cases with my brother and sister-in-law, where we'll have a summer house rental and stay there for a week. It's been a lot of fun, and look to do that again. And as well, hopefully, my parents are considering doing a summer home in Myrtle Beach or in Outer Banks, or the Outer Banks crossing, so I'd like to participate in that if that ends up coming through. Third, I will take my family into New York City for Christmas and stay overnight at a really nice hotel. For the last few years, we've been doing this at the Ritz-Carlton overlooking Central Park, and I absolutely love that. It's something I save for every month until the end of the year, and it's a tradition I'd like to hopefully keep going. So I want to keep that in focus. And last but not least, I will make several renovations in our new home with my wife. We moved into a new home in November, which we're so excited about. And of course, when you buy anything new, you want to put your own flavor and design into it, and that's what we're doing with our home. So hopefully in the next 6 months, we can spruce it up in areas we'd like our kitchen, and be really happy about that. Finances is next. I have 2 goals in here, but this is definitely an area I feel I need to cultivate, and I want to explain more in a minute. But for finances, by the end of this year, I want to see myself save $70,000 in cash, and those would be either a combination, I say cash, but save $70,000, and this will be in the combination of cash in a personal savings account, a whole life cash value life insurance policy, which I've had for a few years, a 401k plan with my company, cryptocurrency investments, and stock market and mutual funds. And the next objective is, by the end of the year, I want to find ways to increase my income by an additional 10% in extra cash flow. Finance is a really big area for me. Honestly, I feel I've grown up with a traditional mindset in finance, and that traditional mindset doesn't really hold up in this day and age. Things like looking at developing free cash flow, making investments in things like real estate, really looking at dividends I'm getting on an annual basis. I think the goal for all of us is to live financially free. It's different to be rich. Rich doesn't mean you're financially free. Rich means you can buy shiny things, but it doesn't mean you're financially free. I know people making $1 million a year who still are unhappy and they can't find ways to save money. Financially free is the amount of money you have coming in where you don't have to show up somewhere every single day for 8 hours exceeds the amount of debt you have. That is my goal. And that's something I really want to look closely at and read some books about to get my ass in gear. And last but not least is public service. Two objectives here. I will research and identify with several charities, and from there I want to use social media and look to make a charitable donation by the end of this year, and 100% of those proceeds be through that donation. And then last but not least is I will look to volunteer my time for different causes for a total of 20 hours at least in 2019. For public service, honestly, this is key for me. I found myself most happy when I'm helping people, and a key experience I had with this was about 8 or 9 years ago when I was working on Wall Street or near Wall Street. I had a chance to do a volunteer work with an organization that sponsors inner city kids and actually puts them through a private school system versus going through the public school system to really give them a chance in life. These are kids coming from broken homes, single families. They really don't have much confidence. They don't have a father figure perhaps. And I had a blessed opportunity to financially and from my time support someone to go through a private school. And it was a great experience. It was awesome seeing how I could add value. I said 9 years ago, I want to do this more often and really even do that little things around my area. And I think all these things combined, when I look back, if I can master each and every one of these, I really feel confident that I will feel truly happy. I will feel fulfilled in my life, and I will be at a spot well above where I am today, and something I probably don't even imagine. But as you can see, this is going to be a lot of work in the midst of living my entire life, and I'm willing to make sacrifices to do that. And this is what I want to chronicle from here, how I go about achieving this, what my experiences are, and just basically bring you all along for the ride. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I will continue to publish content on individual topics and continue to put content out there on the YouTube channel and evaluate if something like Facebook will materialize, but who knows. I'm just going along for the ride, as I said, and we'll see what evolves. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you all soon.